Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Gargoyles episode reviews. Today we're looking at the Silver Falcon. Gangsters, stolen jewels, and a kidnapped detective. This is a Gargoyles nod to film noir, starring Broadway and Elisa. Dracon is out of prison and back in business. He's looking for the family jewels, the literal jewels. To make matters more interesting, Matt Bluestone ends up in the gang's hands. He knows too much. His friend from the FBI knows even more, though. I'm talking Illuminati-level knowledge. That's right, there's even a secret society in this ep. Miss last week's ep? Check out The Mirror, and you can read it or you can listen to it. Spoilers in the 2020 moments. Info from Ask Greg is in the According to Greg Bits. Season 2, Episode 6, The Silver Falcon. Reasons for existence. To drive home the theme of partnership, to allow Broadway and Elisa a team-building adventure, to introduce Mace Malone, to introduce the Illuminati and Martin Hacker, to flesh out Matt Bluestone's character. Main antagonist, Dracon and Company, Mace Malone. Times, October 19th through the 28th, 1995. And I guess there is another gangster involved there. Honestly, I didn't really pay much attention to this episode. It is not one of my favorites. I do not like mafia or mob plots. They're just, I don't know, they're pretty much cookie cutter. So they don't interest me at all. So we're just sort of plowing through this one. Locations, New York City, New York. The Silver Falcon. It was a dark and stormy night and opens title screen with a lightning bolt. Check for traps. Previously, it's Deadly Force with Dracon and Company. There's also Matt rambling about the Illuminati. Well, now we know what this episode's about. 2020 moment / According to Greg. This ep was supposed to start with Preston Vogel's murder. Say what? Okay, when I was rereading this blog post today in preparation, I literally just was like, what? Who? How? Why? Yeah, I totally forgot about that, and so I was as taken aback today as I was when I first learned that back in 2017 when I wrote this. Anyway, so well, that's not getting past standards and policies, S&P. That's the censors, remember. Also, we need Renard's right-hand man and Owen's base model later, during Outfoxed. I like Vogel, so thank goodness they didn't off him. You can read the full episode memo from Greg at Station 8. And I did not read it recently, so I don't remember what it's about. You'll have to go read that yourself. Matt is unlocking an abandoned building in a seedy part of town. Yep, great idea, buddy. Dracon and Company are waiting. Unsurprisingly, they kidnap him. Wow, Dracon's moving up in the crime scale. It was just weapons theft in the last episode, but now he's straight up kidnapping a cop. That's like a felony on a felony. There's a bunch of bright lights, and Dracon's sort of silhouetted there. How do we ever see this guy out of prison again? The mob, that's how. Ugh, I do not like mob episodes. Maltese what? We cut to Broadway watching an old detective movie. It might be the Maltese Falcon, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Big B knows it well enough to quote the lines. In this case, the lines are about protecting your partner. Hey, I know the lines in Gargoyles as well as Broadway knows these. Behind him, Elisa is talking to Captain Chavez. Matt Bluestone hasn't been heard from for 48 hours. That's a long time, you know. Elisa's not worried, but the captain is. So Elisa unlocks her gun from the safe. Nice continuity after Broadway shot her with it in Deadly Force. And tries to leave. Broadway wants to tag along and play detective. Denied. At Matt's apartment, a guy in black is ransacking the place. Broadway arrives to save the day, tossing the dude out the door just as Elisa opens it. She ducks. Incoming. Look at him. He's wearing a detective hat and trench coat from like the 30s, 40s. As he holds the intruder over his head. And the intruder did quite a number on Matt's apartment. Totally ransacked. The thief recovers quickly and takes the elevator. Why not the stairs? Because we wouldn't have the excitement of watching Big B tear open the elevator doors and drag the car back up. You know how much strength that would take? Because I'm pretty sure there's also some mechanical locks that keep that from happening. Like, they have to be removed when the car is in motion for it to work. Elisa is not pleased. Yeah, how are they explaining that ripped open doors to the owner of the building, for one? Broadway's so subtle. In Matt's apartment, she finds a page from his calendar in the thief's jacket. Matt is meeting a guy named Hacker that night at Cleopatra's Needle. It's the same obelisk Demona climbed in the mirror. Nice continuity. Broadway takes a page out of Lex's book and decides to check the computer. Bad idea. The tower explodes. They all survive, but now Elisa is even less thrilled because the perp gets away while she helps Broadway. Broadway is still convinced she needs a partner. She calls him an amateur. He replies that Matt was no amateur, but he still disappeared. Good point. Needle in a... Looks like they filled in Demona's claw holes there. And there's Elisa at the needle. Elisa goes alone to the needle. She meets Martin Hacker, Matt's old partner at the FBI. Yeah, but you didn't know Matt was FBI. Hacker said Matt fell out of favor at the Bureau because he was obsessed with the Illuminati Society, an organization so powerful that supposedly it runs the world. That's what happens when you piss off the smoking man. Yeah, Matt's a total Fox Mulder homage. Martin is no Scully, though. 2020 moment. I like Hacker. He's this laid-back, unassuming guy who's actually a big league with the Illuminati. He's seriously the most interesting character in this episode. I want some fanfics with him and Matt as FBI agent, where Hacker is undermining poor Matt. Matt dragged Hacker out tonight to verify that the letter was authentic. The letter is from somebody called Mace Malone to someone called DD. Mace disappeared in the 1930s, but his uncut gems that he stole/acquired were never found. DD is the other antagonist here, I guess. He has ties to the Illuminati somehow. The Silver Falcon is also mentioned. And here we have a picture of the letter. DD, our little society has racked up quite a nest egg. Every day I see the Silver Falcon, I have to something. It's off the edge of the paper. Stay in touch, partner. Signed, Mace. I love letters that give copious amounts of clues. And it's got the date March 21st, 1924. Mason E. Malone, 3150 3rd Ave, number 45, D, New York. Is the rest of the address, in case you want to know. According to Greg, it's not mentioned in the ep, but on September 14th, 1995, David Xantos is officially inducted into the Illuminati Society. Well, congrats. It's kind of a big deal, because I think it's kind of like that three-letter agency that some people call the Coke Importation Agency in America, and you can't really quit once you join. Xantos is not a high-ranking member yet. That tells you something about society. The richest man in the world does not cow them. Hacker volunteers to help, but Elisa is a lone wolf this round. After Hacker leaves, Dracon's boys show up. They're late to the meeting with Hacker, but now that they see Elisa, they want revenge for last time. Too bad. Broadway is game for a repeat of their last encounter. They flee in a black sedan. There, he's got a couple of them by the collar. The guy on the right is just like, I knew I should have asked for a raise. Elisa goes to the office that used to belong to Mace. She finds G.F. Bentley CPA in 45D. Conveniently, he's a raging Mace Malone fan. That's why he rented the office. Plus, it looks out over the Chrysler building, which is just snazzy. He looks like he's a blackjack dealer on the side. He's got his little green visor. And there Elisa is looking out at Broadway, who's sitting on one of the falcons that are on the Chrysler building. You know how much that view would cost? Elisa sees a picture of DD and Mace on the table. Benton says it was taken at their old nightclub, the Silver Falcon. He speaks admiringly of DD. Convenient clue drop. Ahoy. As Elisa rushes out, she yells for Benton to call Chavez to send back up to the Silver Falcon. Suddenly she's had some sort of epiphany here. Why, oh why wouldn't she just radio them herself? Why rely on a senile old man? We may never know. Halftime. Well, yeesh, this episode, it doesn't do much for the existing antagonist except tell us some more of Dracon's family history. It's a straight plot-driven ep that rolls like a film noir movie. It's got some nice twists, but otherwise it doesn't do much for me. We do get to meet Hacker and get a whiff of the Illuminati, so it's got that going for it. The first half is a setup for the roller coaster of the second half, so buckle up for the continuation. What did you think of the ep so far? You can comment here. You can comment on the blog. Remember to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the